Hello, and welcome again to my channel. I am excited to talk to you about orchids, and I realized when I was editing my video that the last one I made was super long, and I didn't want to bore you with my talking, so I thought I'd break it up into 3 different videos. So here is video number 2 from my Sunday morning in my same clothes, but it is now Sunday evening. But I want to talk to you about my Maxillaria Tenuifolias and how I failed them because I didn't know what to do with them and how I'm making progress. So let's dive in. Maxillaria Tenuifolia. I have 3 pieces of them, and they're in 3 different pots. And I wanted to tell you the story behind them. I was on YouTube watching orchid videos like I do when I'm in bed with my migraines. And there was another gal, and she was potting up her newer acquired Maxillaria Tenuifolia, and it got me thinking about my 2-year-old Maxillarias. Now they came to me on 2 mounts. They were 2 separate ones in mounts, and one was a really big, so I called him Maximus, and one was a little bit smaller, so I called her Maxine. Well, it turns out that last year I deconstructed them off the mounts, put them in pots, and waited for them to plump up like they do, or they are supposed to, in the potted media, and they never did. So I kept watering, kept doing the same thing. Nina from Ninja Orchid says make sure they get lots of light, and make sure that those bracts that are braided on the side get water on them, because inside those little braids are the roots that go all the way down. The nature of the Maxillaria is that it likes to climb. So let's show you this one. You see how they have one at this level, and then it goes up higher and then up higher, the 3 different levels? That's the climbing nature of them. But you see how flat they are? Let me get you close. They have been like that for 1 whole year, and I've been pouring water over them. So I got to thinking, this was Maxine. She was on the mount, and I didn't take her off the mount. But Maximus, when I took off the mount, had 2 or 3 sections that I noticed. So I just put them all in one, put them in one pot, and been watching them for a while. And I noticed recently that the roots were coming down. Let me show you. I noticed 2 things. This is one pot. Let me get a rag. You notice how plumped up those are? They still have some creases in them from dehydrating, but they are much plumper. Over the course of this last year of me doing the same thing, pouring water over them every day, they have plumped up, and they've also started growing root tips. You see that, how it's growing down? And there was some down here, and this long one here. And that encouraged me. I said, aha, those roots are going down into the water, and they're liking it. Even though I water them every day, maybe they need to be constantly in water. So last week I transferred them into the leca balls, and they sit like this, growing their roots down. And every day I do take it over to my water bucket, which is over here, and I pour water over all the bracts, get them fully wet, and let it drip through. And then I leave a remainder of water in the pot for those bottom roots to suck up. So every day it's getting wet, but all through the day, those roots are staying moist if they choose to go down into the media there. And I noticed within the last week, they have plumped up so much. So Maxine was quickly transferred over to the same concept. Let me show you the other half. Now I have had these plants, like I said, for 2 years. So for 2 years I have done kind of the wrong thing, and the plant did not die, she just did not thrive. So she was in originally on mounts, and I couldn't keep her watered enough. And then the mount was downstairs where I thought she was getting enough light, and she wasn't. And so I've had to increase the light, increase the moisture, and now instead of increasing the moisture and the light, I keep her in constant water up to about here. And every day I'm pouring water over, and they are plumping up. Some of the wrinkles are finally going away. I kid you not. Little Maxine over here with those, she's in a smaller setup because I didn't have a pot. So there's a hole at the bottom, and there's leca beads and glass pellet beads and rocks all around her. And every day I check. I pour water over her, I let it empty out, and then the bottom container has a little bit of water, and she just compresses together and the water goes up. But I kid you not, that flat width, that's what all of these looked like last week. So I'm encouraged. And I think for my environment, these maxillarias really want to swim in some water, not just take a sip. So I have left these alone, and I'm excited. Maybe, just maybe in the next 12 months, she might actually produce a coconut smelling flower for me. No, I have not seen a single flower since I bought them 2 years ago. But I am encouraged. So listen to your plants. Sometimes, obviously we all know that flat bulbs with lines and ridges in it is screaming hydration problems, hydration problems. But I tried to fix it the best I knew how. I kept watering her every day. I kept drenching her with water every day, but she still dried out every night. And every morning I'd have to do it again. So now, caught a clue. I'm leaving them in the water at the bottom. And I hope to show you flowers. I'll at least show you when she starts to spike. I've never seen a spike on her. I hope you have learned a thing or two about caring for Maxillaria Tenuifolias in your environment. If it's similar to mine, perhaps you haven't seen flowers because you've done the same mistakes that I have made. Well, I hope we all make a little bit of progress this year. I look forward to hearing about your Maxillarias, some of the things you did wrong, and some of the things you know how to do just right. And I'd love to see pictures of your Maxillaria Tenuifolias. But until I get flowers, this is all you get to see. Until we talk again, bye-bye.